Welcome to the Reschecks blog. We want to give you 14 steps for reviewing Reschecks. This is an easy 14-step Rescheck review tutorial for anyone needing to review a Rescheck report created using Rescheck Web or Rescheck Desktop. Today on the Reschecks blog, we'll look at how a Rescheck's reviewed, several steps that people take when they receive a Rescheck to make sure it's what they need. So, what we want to do is go through some simple steps to help you review your Rescheck. This Rescheck blog post will show you what your building inspector and building department will be looking for when reviewing Reschecks. We created a 14-step plan to review Rescheck reports, and we will discuss them below. Step 1. Check the software that was used creating your Rescheck. There are currently two options to create an official Rescheck report. The options are Rescheck Web and Rescheck Desktop. The top line of your Rescheck created using Rescheck Desktop will say, generated by using Rescheck Desktop software. The top line of your Rescheck created using Rescheck Web will say, generated using Rescheck Web software. Either Rescheck Web or Rescheck Desktop is acceptable software to create Reschecks, and this is your first step for reviewing Reschecks. Check the project name. The next major portion of the Rescheck is the name of the project. You can name it whatever you wish. Be sure to name it something relevant so that if you need access to your Rescheck RCK or RXL file in the future, you can find it easily. Find the energy code. The energy code is listed next: ICC 21, ICC 2018, 2015, 2012, 29, all common Rescheck energy codes. There are many more state-specific and Azure energy codes in Rescheck Web and Rescheck Desktop depending on your location. Be sure your energy code is in the location and it matches what your building department requires for your Rescheck. Check the location of your projects next. If your specific city is not listed in the Rescheck Desktop or Rescheck Web software, choose a location nearby with a similar climate zone. Bonus tip is to try and see if your county is listed instead of your city. Project type. Is the project type correct? Rescheck Web and Rescheck Desktop allow two project types. The first is a single family which can be confusing because it covers 1 and 2 family dwellings like duplexes. The second is multifamily. It's good for structures that are less than 3 stories above on the ground. In some instances, your building department may require a ComCheck report on multifamily structures. Step 6, square footage. Square footage. It's one of the most important items on any blueprint application and your Rescheck. Make it a point to know the square footage of your project early and check it after any changes are made on your project's plans. Glazing area. Glazing area simplified is a percentage of windows and glass doors compared to the amount of wall area and expressed as a percentage. This is important in some jurisdictions and homeowners association design committees because they have preset minimum and maximum glazing areas that can be on new construction, addition, or alteration projects. If your project does not meet these guideline glazing areas requirements, you might find yourself having to redesign your structure. Climate zone. Your climate zone is very important and is tied to the location you choose to build. The climate zone tells your Rescheck software, Rescheck Web or Rescheck Desktop, what criteria your project's envelope will need to generate a passing score. Construction site, owner, agent, designer, contractor. These are the next items on any Rescheck, and they are quite self-explanatory. In one section goes your job site address. The next, you put the project's owner. Final, you put the designer or contractor. Rescheck pass, Rescheck fail. This section tells if your Rescheck passes or fails. Also gives a percentage score of how many percentage point your Rescheck is above or below the prevailing code. As you make adjustments to your location, envelope components, and insulation values, your percentage score will increase or decrease on your Rescheck and could take a failing or passing Rescheck to passing or failing or vice versa. Check your envelope assemblies. This section should coordinate with your plans and contain ceiling, walls, windows, doors, foundation on most plans. It also contains the R value of insulation, U value, and SHGC of windows and doors. These envelope assemblies should match up with what's on your plans. This is a bonus step if your project uses ICC 21 Rescheck energy code or maybe the upcoming ICC 2024 energy code. This portion is only applicable to 2021 and 24. On the front screen of Rescheck Web and Rescheck Desktop, when creating your Rescheck, you'll choose an additional energy efficiency package. You can check the option during this step of the Rescheck review. Step 12, compliance. This is an area of Rescheck that is signed and dated. It includes a written paragraph that says the structure and specifications meet the energy code for your area in regards to the Rescheck. Inspection checklist, easy to use checklist building department will use to inspect this structure, and some building departments prefer for these portions to be filled out before the permitting process. Other building departments will fail your Rescheck if you fill out any of the portion of it before turning it in. You may not know what type of Rescheck your building department wanted until several months after the project is submitted. That's why we offer free modifications to any project. Compliance certificate. This portion of the Rescheck is completed at the end, contains the R value, U value, brand and model number of HVAC unit, brand and model and number of the water heater, R value of ductwork, and any that are in unconditioned spaces. Once signed and dated, this portion of the Rescheck is typically placed on the electrical panel or at the place of the building department's choosing around the same time you receive your certificate of occupancy. We hope you've enjoyed this in-depth look at Reschecks. We at Rescheck Info take great pride in helping people with Reschecks, and we can help you too. We charge $79 for any size Rescheck. We can have it back to you in 4 to 6 hours. Simply email PDF plans, job site address, and square footage to service@rescheck.info, and we will get you taken care of.